how are you today? So I'm super excited to be back with you guys today. As you know, today is an educational day, and on educational days I give you something you've been probably thinking, something you've been wanting me to talk about, something that you think is so vital and important. So I'm coming to you guys today to talk about a topic that I'm super excited to talk about because number one, somebody triggered me to do this video in my free women's support group on Facebook. A young lady said this yesterday and I'm like, dang, I need to do a video on that. So I'm so happy that she said that. Thank you. If you're watching this video, you know who you are. But at the end of the day, I'm really excited to talk about that today. So I love you guys. I'm happy to be back with you guys. Happy September 1st. Woo! So we made it we're getting closer to the end of the year. We only got 4 months left. I can't believe it's like 4 months left. But in the end of the day, guys, I really want you guys to understand we are here together. You're not alone. I'm here with you. I want to help you. I want to love on you. And this video is truly going to help my individuals who are in the dating pool right now. Or even somebody who even had this question and kind of just got stumped. And somebody asked them the question and didn't know what to say. So I want to help you guys with this. So the topic today is, if you're dating someone, so the dating question is, have you had or do you have a STI or STD? Y'all will hear me go interchangeably with STI, STD. The reason because they have removed STD. Medical professionals typically do not say STD anymore, or sexual health professionals do not. But you'll still hear they want to change from disease to infection. So you'll hear me say that interchangeably, not saying that they're different, anything like that. It's just wording. So if you know either one, just know either one is the same, okay? So the question is, again, dating question is, do you have a STI or have you had a STI or STD? So with that being said, guys, I want you to think. Like, okay, if somebody asked me this question, knowing that I have herpes now, what would I do? Number one, a lot of y'all already freaking out because you're like already worried about the disclosing part anyway. But what would you do if somebody asked you this question over the phone, over text message, FaceTime, in person? What would you do? I want you guys to comment below and kind of tell me, what would you do? What would your initial response be if somebody asked you this? For real, put the comment. I want to know what y'all have to say, and I'm going to comment to each and every one of you. What would your initial response be? Okay? My thing is, it's very rare that we tend to hear this question. Just be honest. It's very rare that we hear this question. But you may run into somebody who asks this question. Or you may feel comfortable to ask this question, but you don't know what you will say if they ask it back. So, with that being said, guys, I want you to be comfortable with receiving this question and not be caught off guard with the question, and also be comfortable with asking this question, because this question is vital. You want to know the answer. You want to know the answer, not because, oh, this person is this and that. Same for you, you're not this and that. It's because you care about your sexual health. And if we get out the mindset that I'm asking this question so I can have sex with you right now, that's not true. I'm asking this question because I want to know your sexual history. I want to know, if I make the decision to have sex with you, have you had one in your past, or do you have one now? And how can we prevent from it happening again? Or what do you know now that you didn't know before? I think we a lot just get really scared about talking about STIs and STDs because we just assume that people know everything. We assume that nobody will put you in that predicament. You assume that everybody quote unquote clean. You just assume, and we gotta stop assuming, because people are looking at you and me and thinking that we don't have anything and be bamboozled and fooled to know that we do have something. Like, oh my God, I can't believe you have something. Get in next. And stop assuming, and stop looking at what I got on, and stop looking at my face, and stop looking at anything, because you cannot tell looking at a person that they have an STI, STD. You just won't know, especially if you're not educated on what it looked like anyway. Even if I had it on my face, for example, I had a cold sore, most people don't even think that's herpes. They don't even think it's an STI, which is not always considered one, depending on how you got it. But at the end of the day, nobody would even think that. Nobody would even think that. Most STIs, STDs are not plastered all over a person's body or visible for them to for a person to even know. So we need to first kill that stigma. Thinking that you will know when a person have an STI, STD, or just because they've been with multiple people, and it doesn't make a difference. You could be with one person, you could be with no people. Literally, you never had physical sex at all. But you just kiss the individual, things like that. Things can happen. You could have been born with it. So my whole thing, we have to kill that stigma right up. Right. Okay, so if you're asked this question, what would your initial response be? The first thing you should say is the truth, okay? I think this is the thing that a lot of us do not like to do. We don't like to tell the truth because I think it gets too early and things like this. Question. If you're walking into a situation, you need to view what you're walking in for. A lot of us are dating for the wrong reasons. Are you dating for casual sex? Are you dating for companionship? Are you dating for marriage? Are you dating to fill your time? Are you dating for a friend? Are you dating because you're lonely? What are you dating for? Because if you don't know what you're dating for, you don't see the need to, you don't know why you should do certain things right away. Or you don't know if you should not do these things at all. I have had young ladies come to me all the time and say, when should I disclose, Belize? And the first thing I always tell them, what are you going to this relationship for? What's the point? And do they have the same vision that you have? If they don't have the same vision, sometimes some things are not necessary. But if this question comes up, they have a goal, sometimes, most of the time, keeping it real, want to have sex sometime down the line. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but they want to know these things if sex even stumble upon y'all, which I tell y'all, stop stumbling upon sex. Y'all set yourselves up. Know if you want to have sex. If you're going to have sex, make sure it's safe sex, which you're preparing for, you're talking about. Don't keep... I really want to say, stop stumbling upon sex. Like, stop, oh my God, I made a mistake and had sex. Nobody make a mistake and have sex. You were put in situations that you knew how to get out of, or didn't know how to get out of, or you set yourself up for, and then try to make it seem like you didn't want to be there, okay? So it's different situations, but if you're that individual who, you know, girl, I put on my sexy drawers, and I put on my, you know, I put on my cute little bra set and panty set, I did like shave my legs. Girl, you set yourself up. So please, if you're that individual, or my guy, same situation, make sure to put that condom in your back pocket, because you knew if you touch it the right way and she cringed the right way, it's going down. So my whole thing is, if you know that is you, I need you to stop setting yourself up. Because at the end of the day, you need to have conversations before you get there. And if this conversation comes up between you and the individual that you just met, okay, I'm just telling you, that you just met, that person have in their mind that they possibly want to have sex with you soon enough. So my whole thing is, ask yourself, do I see myself having sex with that person? Now you're like, Belize, well, I don't know. And I'm talking from a female standpoint. I don't know if I want to have sex with them. I don't know if the chemistry there. I'm not that type of girl who kind of just jump in with them. Some girls are different, where they kind of get to a place where I feel you out, I know what I want right away. He was sexy, I think I can try that out. And then some girl is like, I need to get a good feel for him mentally, see where he is. So my whole thing, you gotta know yourself enough of what made you want to have sex with an individual, okay? You ask yourself that, and then make a decision if you want to do that with that individual. I know it's kind of hard to do all in your mind real quick, but when you first meet this person, I need you to think about that. I know that's so random, and I know you don't want to have sex at the top of your mind, but let's be real. If you ever had sex in your life, it's at the top of your brain. It comes up when they're licking their lips. It comes up when she walk across and you're like, dang, she got a big old booty. Like, that stuff comes across your brain. So think about it. Think about it, when you swipe left and you swipe right, did it come across your brain? When you sent that text message tonight, like, ooh, you know, emoji, kissy face, what do you mean? Like, literally. Because at the end of the day, if you do not think about these things and get yourself in a situation like this, of this person asks you if you have an STI, STD, then you'll be like, I don't think I want to say anything yet. But do you want to be with this person in a certain place? My whole thing is, timing is everything. I know it sounds crazy, but timing is everything. You never, and I want to say this, you never want to not tell information and think you want to tell the information later and it's not going to look like a lie. Okay? you do not want to not disclose information and come back around the door and say, oh yeah, you remember? They look like, why you didn't say that in the beginning? You're going to look like a liar. And I know that's not your goal. I know that's not what you mean. I know you're still trying to get a feel. I know it. But at the end of the day, you never want to jeopardize your integrity of when somebody asks you a question because you're truly not ready. And I get it. Because at the end of the day, you may meet a person, that person may ask you that in the second date. And you're like, I don't even know if I want to talk to that person like that or anything like that. If you're not sure you want to talk to that person like that, and you know, I mean, for real, you know you don't have no interest like that. You know right now I'm not looking for nothing serious. I'm not looking to have sex. And I mean, you got to know that you know in your spirit. And you like, well, Belize, things change and da-da-da-da-da. Okay, well, if your things gonna change, you need to make a decision and stick on the goal of a change. Not if a what if change and things like that. Because you got to understand, when people ask you a question, they want to know a real today answer. Not a, oh, I felt you out answer. Not a, I changed my mind answer. They don't want to hear that. And I know you're like, well, Belize, that's not fair to us. That means we got to tell everybody up front. That's why you need to go in knowing what you want right out the door. And you also can control certain situations. If you know you don't want to deal with sex, then come out the door as soon as you talk about, look, I'm not looking for sex. I don't want to talk about sex. That is not a goal of mine. I'm looking to just get to know you. No sexual with nothing. That will cut off a question. I mean, it will cut the question off. But if you're having sexual talk, you letting them feel on your booty, you rubbing on his legs, you're complimenting all his body parts and complimenting all her body parts. You said, man, I remember when I did this is such and such, trying to create imagination in the other person's brain. Then you know questions will come upon you. And I know we got to learn how to pace it. You got to learn how to pace it. Because my whole thing is, you coming out the door and you're allowing him or her to talk about sex, it's pacing itself. And you're not, and you know you're not ready to have these conversations. You know you're kind of trying to determine where you are with this person first. Pace the conversations. And I know you're looking like, Belize, I thought you were just going to answer the question. I am going to answer the question, but I got to tell y'all this stuff first, because a lot of us are getting to these type of questions because you allow the relationship to pace itself on its own, or it get paced by the other person, and that's not what you want. Or you're pacing it based off your old behaviors, are constantly allowing your sexuality to continue to control, and your sexual behaviors to control everything, and mentally, that's not even what you want. But that's not even what you're looking for right away. But your body is so used to doing what it do what it do. And I'm going to tell you this, if you are used to just having sex on the first time, if you're used to clinging and jumping, if you're used to doing things like that, or going with the flow and things like that, you'll end up in situations you don't want to be in. And you're not mentally ready for it. Or your mind is just like, why am I here and I didn't want to be here. You're there because your body is going to do what it wants to do when it's used to doing it. And it's triggered based off words. And it's triggered based off feelings. And it's triggered based off smells. It's going to move. It's like, woo, okay, this is what we doing. This is what I'm used to doing. And you're like, hold up, wait a minute. Hey, listen to me. And that's what I want y'all to listen to yourself. What do you want? So for the individual, the young lady who was in the group, she said she was talking to a guy, just met him, cool, good dude, hitting it off right away, and he asked her, do you have an STI? She said, I don't know if I'm ready to answer that question. I'm not sure if I'm ready to answer that question. I'm not sure if I'm ready to answer that question. If somebody asks you something, don't you want to know the truth answer? And I know you like, Believe still, that means I have to tell everybody. I'm going to be honest with you. Everybody ain't going to ask you this question. I'm just going to be real. Everybody's not going to ask you this question. And a dude that asks, or a female that asks you this question, want to know the mother freaking answer for a reason, for a past experience, because they want to know they're real serious about their sexual health. They want to know who they're getting involved with. They want to know. So my thing is, are you willing to take responsibility for your sexual health and say, hey, yes, I contracted da 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 da, and share your story right away, or say, hey, you know what, that question is different. I never received this question before, and this is how you can lead. Why did you ask me that question? Okay, you can flip it a little bit. I know that sounds weird, but you can flip it, because I think sometimes when we're asked questions, we feel like we have to answer them right away. Like right away, like I gotta give an answer right now. You can ask the individual, hey, that's random. I never had nobody ask me that. Why did you ask me that? Just to get a feel for their brain, get a feel for where their head's at, get a feel for why they feel like that's important. Because a lot of us start spitting stuff. For example, on the other side, you say, hey, if you're feeling that person, you say, oh man, you asked me that question. It's interesting that you asked me that question. I'm not used to that question being asked to me, but I am feeling you, so I'm willing to share, you know, whatever. Or if you're on the flip side, like you're not sure you're not feeling, you don't know where this going, where it's gonna go, then you should say, hey, like, oh my God, I can't believe you asked me that question. I'm not trying to put you out, but I'm just so shocked that you asked me that question. What made you ask that question? I don't hear that on a daily. You can be honest, I ain't heard that in years. You're the first person who asked me that. What made you ask me that question? And that person will give you history. That person will say, well, I was dealing with somebody and this is what happened. My last girlfriend did this. My last boyfriend did this. I experienced this, or I fear this, or things like that. Now, after you receive that information, especially for this person on this side, then you need to make a decision on what you're going to do. You need to make, and I know you don't have a lot of time, okay? You don't have a lot of time. You can't stall. You don't have a lot of time. Now, if you're texting, it's different, but if you're stalling, you're going to get that person thinking, oh, why they not answering me? Like, what is the issue? And this is another area also of being comfortable in yourself. And I know you're like, Belize, I don't want everybody to know my business. I don't want everybody to know my business. Listen. I don't know how you're going to date know somebody and don't really let them know your business. I just don't. I think we really get so caught up in my business, that you're not even being authentic enough or telling a person enough information to make a real decision to be with you. A person need to know enough information to make a sound decision. Let's be honest, a lot of us are making sound decisions off no information. He ain't told you about his family. You don't know if he got kids. You don't know if he got a job. You don't know where he stay. You don't know who car he driving. Is it even his car? Is he owning it? Is he leasing it? Is he renting it? Do he have a driver's license? We don't ask enough questions. And then you get it and you're like, oh my God, girl, I can't believe. Well, you didn't ask. So when a person asks you this type of question, which all of us should be at a place, not talking to my teenagers, it's a little different for you guys, but for my individuals who are 21 and up, and somebody asks you this goddamn question, you need to be prepared to give some type of answer. You need to be prepared to give some type of answer. That running away from things just because you don't want people to know your business. I understand that a lot of us have been in sticky situations. I understand that a lot of y'all been outed. I understand that a lot of y'all fear to be outed. I understand a lot of that stuff. But if you're going into things, you cannot assume you gotta dip and dodge things. You can't keep dipping and dodging. Especially if you're looking for something serious. And I know you're like, Belize, but I'm freaking out. Yes, it is a freak out. Because you need to, if the question is given to you or presented to you, what are you going to do? And I'm happy I'm talking about this now because it give you a time to think and process what you want to do. It give you time to think about how to maneuver relationships to avoid some things until you're ready. And a lot of us just do not avoid things until we're ready. We're just throwing it and we're trying to deal with it. And you're not saying you're not ready for that. And you're not setting boundaries stating, I don't want to do, I'm not ready for this. And this is how we're going to conduct a relationship until I'm ready for that. But a lot of women, I'm going to call us out, we do not do that. Men that say, look, I ain't looking for nothing serious. He tell you I ain't that in the beginning. And then you get all lovey-dovey, gushy-bushy, get all in your feelings. And you're like, I still don't want no relationship. And now your feelings hurt. He told you in the beginning. It's some dude like, man, I ain't trying to have sex. I'm out here trying to get my mind right. I'm trying to get my money right. I ain't on that. You know, I'm just looking for friendship. And then you throwing your booty at him. And he be like, Chubb, I ain't even on that, though. Can we all take a lesson from men time to time when they tell you stuff up front? I know it sounds crazy, but if we don't know nothing else, they may not tell you some other personal stuff, but they will tell you if they want in or they want out early. If he want booty, if he want just he looking for a serious relationship, if he on chill mode, if he is thinking about himself, he gonna tell you. Question is, are you listening? But as women, we're not used to telling no dude up front. We used to go with the flow and seeing what happened and things like that. Ladies, let's get out of that. 2020 ended. Know what you're doing. Know what you're setting. Set the tone. Set the tone. Because if he ain't on what you want, when you open the door, soon as you before you even exchange your number, literally, I don't have guys walk up to me and we're talking and I'm feeling him out. What do you do? I mean, literally, I had this happen when I went to Chicago. This dude jumped out his car and he said, hey, how you doing? I said, I'm doing good. He said, you want to eat? I said, no, I just ate. He said, where you from? I told him where I'm from. He said, oh, so what do you do? I said, no, go ahead. You tell me what you do. He's like, ladies first. I'm like, no, I don't want you to fill me out first. I want to fill you out. So he was like, oh, I do this, I do a little of that. So he said, what do you do? I told him what I did. He's like, okay, that's cool. You know, you're doing good work, whatever, whatever. He's like, well, also I do da 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 da. He said, oh, can I get your number? No. In that small little thing, I realized I didn't want to deal with somebody who did what he did for a living. And I know you're like, at least that's shallow. Call me what you want. Call me what you want. I looked at him up and down. He was too short for me. His voice was squeaky. I kept it very real with me. I kept it real with myself. And a lot of us give our number out. We'll be out and about, giving our number out, especially on social media. We do that too. But without getting a good feel. Get a good feel for people first before you hand this stuff out. Get a good feel. Pray for that person and see if they work it in that second. You're like, God, Holy Spirit, whatever you may believe in, but for me it's Jesus. So I'm like, Holy Spirit, what is this? Give me a good feel. Do I need to give my number? Is this worth my time? Can this be not even romantic, but just business or friendship? Let me know, and they give you like, cool, go for it. I'm like, nope, leave that alone. Okay? Alright? So my whole thing is know what you're getting yourself into. So my whole thing is with this question, it's a complex question, but it's a question to get you to think. If this was presented to you, what would you do? What would you do? Will you tell it right away? Or do you want to circle back around after you have established a strong relationship, after you have shared all your information with this dude and he asks you a vital, she asks you a vital or make and break question for them in the beginning? You have the right to ask them why they asked that question. That's not putting off. It's just like, dang, I ain't gonna lie, I don't get dudes asking that question often. So when they ask, like, look at you! What made you ask that question? And like, I be giving applause. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for asking that question because I don't get this question on the regular. It made me view that man in a different way. Even when I hear women say they ask guys that question, it made me view them in a different way and say, God, you're being responsible. And I'm happy you're being responsible for yourself. You never know if this person is asking this question up front because they got information to tell you. They'll always make it seem like it's about you. It could be them trying to tell you something or get a fill out for you first. You never know. So my whole thing is, with this question, it's really no yes or no should you tell it up front. It's more of what do you want to do? And how do you want to be viewed if you choose to circle it back around? How are you going to explain that you did not tell it up front? Now my whole thing is you have the ability to tell a person, no, it's no way to do that, guys. I'm sorry. I cannot cushion y'all on that. I can't cushion y'all on that. I love y'all. I just can't. I can't cushion it because at the end of the day, we're grown. And we got to understand this. When you tell somebody something, they believe you the first time. They believe you the first time. So I don't know how you gonna try to circle that sucker back around later. It will have you be more mindful of how you move and how you shift and not letting stuff just flow, but you really kind of just being very present in the dating or the dating process, that you're kind of not getting comfortable. Like you really like in it, like you digging in it, you know, you maneuvering, you writing information down. You're like, okay, is they going down with my standards? Do I agree with that? Am I asking the right questions? Things of that nature. Like literally, I think this question needs to be asked. And since it's not being asked, it's causing people not to be responsible. I'm gonna call it like it is. It's causing people not to be responsible because people are not asking these type of questions. And I feel like if people start asking these type of questions up front, it'll get a lot of people to stop moving so quick on doing stuff without knowing what their status is, number one, and number two, being comfortable with their status. Okay? Whatever that may be, to be comfortable with it. And to be okay with telling a person that and then making a decision to walk away. Okay? That's okay. Keep it moving. That's not the only fish in the sea. And as women, I love you. Stop acting like that last person you told is be all. Listen, you only disclosed to 2 dudes. Girl, move on. 2. And you tripping. 2. Stop putting all your feelings in the dude you don't know. Stop getting so emotionally involved so early. That's our problem. You need to feel a person. I need y'all to be logical in the beginning. What I hear is what it is. What I hear is what it is. What I feel is what it is. I'm not against falling in love. I'm not against no feeling like that's it. But you will miss stuff because you're feeling too goddamn much. You feel it and you're not hearing. I want us to be way more logical in dating. I'm talking to myself. Way more logical in dating. A lot of us are not taught this. Asking more serious questions in the beginning. Listening in the beginning. Not after you got into a relationship and now he's telling you everything. Listen now so you can make a decision if you want to hear it later. Okay? So I love you guys. I know this is a complex question. I would love to hear y'all responses at the bottom. Please tell me what you would say, what you would do. Tell me how you felt about this video. I know this video is not an easy video to kind of like digest all of it. I want to tell y'all, stop expecting me to give y'all a one-word answer. I will never do that because at the end of the day, everything is so compacted. And I think that's a problem within sexual health. We're not unpackaging situations. And we're not making people responsible for what they do. I'm not going to keep telling you, you should do this and you should do that. You grown. Your vagina and your penis is your business. So with that being said, I'm not going to tell you what you should or should not do. But I will advise, look at the bigger picture on how you moving. How you moving before you use it. Let's be honest. How you moving before you open it up. How you moving. And make sure you're comfortable with how you're moving. And when questions come upon you, are you comfortable with the questions? Every question is not going to be comfortable. I have been asked questions, I was like, whoa. But I had to be real with myself because a lot of us are uncomfortable because it makes us feel some type of way. And if it makes you feel some type of way, you need to view yourself, look at yourself, and ask yourself why. Ask yourself why. That person have a right to know questions. They have the right to ask questions, and they have the right to get the answers. And if you're not ready to give certain answers, then you're not ready. And it's okay. I think we need to all be okay with not dating at a point. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to just say, you know, I'm out here just getting a feel for who I am now as a person. Hey, it's okay to have that. It's okay if you want to say, I'm going out here looking for sexual partners. Then you better ask some real serious questions too. Okay? But my whole thing, know what you're going out here for. Don't go out here and say, I'm looking for love. What type of love? What type of companionship? What type of sexual experience? What are you looking for? Because you need to tell a person what you're looking for and make sure they're compatible. Because a lot of people are not compatible. And we don't like to hear that, but it's the truth. And that's why we get upset when we get, you know, rejection and things. They just weren't compatible for you. But you want everybody to be compatible for you. They're not. They're just not. We're not looking for everybody to be compatible. Everybody's just not, y'all. They might accept your diagnosis, but then be abusive. They may accept their diagnosis, but don't like oral sex. They might accept your diagnosis, but don't know how to talk to you. They may accept your diagnosis, but they're struggling with their own mental health, and it is dragging you. Make sure you hear everything out and you know what you're doing, okay? Difficult question, but I want to hear y'all thoughts at the end. So I love you. You know where to find me, guys. If you have any questions, concerns, go over to my Instagram. You can hit me up there. Please, you know, that's always open. Also, if you want to go to my website, www.stdlifecoach.com, I have courses there, guys. I have sessions there as well. I also have natural outbreak products there as well, guys. Do not miss out on that. I want to tell you guys, I'm super excited that YouTube has given me the ability to do memberships now, so y'all look out for that. I have 3 levels of memberships there, and I'm going to do an exclusive premiered, like, high class membership as well outside of YouTube, because a lot of you guys are on my YouTube and there's some people I meet outside of my YouTube, so you have the ability to choose off these. You'll have like 4 ways to do some things for me. Some is just background stuff, some stuff you get just special stuff, and in these premiere ones you're gonna get some special personalized things that come to your home and come through your phone and all these other things that I'll get on the phone with me, different things like that I will give you an option to really get more personal with me, guys. I really want that for you guys, because I understand how it feels not to have anybody. I know how it feels to don't know what to do and feeling alone, and I do not want you guys to continue to feel that. I want to eliminate that so you guys can get to a place of loving yourself, accepting yourself, and moving forward in your life, even when it's difficult, but moving forward with your life. Know who you are, knowing that you had support through it, and you will continue to have support through it. So I love you guys, and I'll see y'all on Thursday for the live. See you soon. Bye.